Welcome, everybody, to We Geek Podcast. Today is December 6th. My name is Adam. I'm joined by my good friend Logan.
Hello.
What up, man? And we just talked to you guys recently, so now we're back on our normal schedule. Yeah, I wanted to get back into the groove of things. There not that much news this week, but there's some major news that we're going to talk about. Some huge news.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, apologies for my microphone. Still hasn't come yet for the pop filter, so steep apologies. I'll be getting that fixed soon. So, but man, how's it been the last few days since we chatted with you?
Been fine. Just work.
Yeah.
Not anything groundbreaking going on. At least I don't think so, anyway.
See any good movies? Play any games?
No. What did I see today? I finally today got around to seeing Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets.
How is that?
It wasn't bad. It's a little bloated and it's a little too packed full of it. They tried to cram a whole lot into something that was a fairly simple, straightforward, we've done this kind of thing again plot. But I enjoyed it. A little too long, but I mean that's really my only big complaint. But,
yeah, it looks the CGI on it looks amazing.
It's a gorgeous film. It's absolutely beautiful. They went all in on that for sure.
Oh yeah, it looks crazy. Yeah, I need to get through because there's a lot of Redbox movies that are out that. Stuff that I did not see in the theater, like I know American Assassin's out, I know Logan Lucky is out.
Oh, you gotta see Logan Lucky's really good.
Oh yeah. So there's a lot of things in there that I want to go, take a look at.
Yeah.
But I still need to go see Coco. I'm gonna see that at some point this week. And just kind of getting ready for the big old movie next week.
Yeah, yeah, you and me in very different ways.
Oh yeah. No, I don't envy that, man. Oh my god, that's gonna be crazy.
We've got a mandatory staff meeting on Saturday about this, and and I know it's just gonna be, oh man, this is gonna be whether or not you figure out if you can do this job or not.
Oh, I imagine it's hey, do not call out today because you probably won't have a job tomorrow.
I don't mind that. I think that's fair.
Right.
Because the group that I got hired with was only brought in because the group before us worked when it came out, and it was a massacre, and I think the way it went was that all of them said, nope, we can't do this, bye.
Was it really that big?
It was huge, and they weren't. And the biggest thing was they weren't expecting it. Like, nobody thought it was going to be as monstrous as it was. It was something that they thought, oh yeah, this is going to do, like, decent business. And then they started seeing projections and went, well, okay, we're going to be... I think they were expecting not quite as big as a Marvel movie kind of opening and everything. And instead, they got just kicked in the head over it. Like, it was crazy. And I've talked to some people that work in a couple of different theaters around here, and they all said the same thing. Like, nobody was expecting that.
That's insane. I didn't know that many people went and saw it. What was it? I mean, let me look up the box numbers.
It broke 100, which nobody thought was going to happen. Not opening.
That's crazy.
Not opening weekend, but like its opening was it was the biggest September they've ever had because of it, if I remember right.
Wow, $688 million for it.
Yeah, worldwide.
For a horror film.
Yeah. What was the, because I can't pull the numbers up real quick. What was it opening weekend?
Let's see here. Weekend.
Over 100?
It was 123. It grossed $123,403,419.
Yeah, they weren't ready for that at all.
No way.
Not at all.
Then it went to 60, 29, 16, 9, 6. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. When is this thing out on Blu-ray or to rent on like Amazon?
Should be in the next month-ish. Because it's only, I think we just had it leave. Like, we've had it until, like, 2 weeks ago, maybe.
See, that would have been perfect for my, the movie pass.
It's, I don't know, I'll look real quick. But because it shouldn't be too much longer, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it shouldn't be that much longer.
But yeah, they were not ready for it. And that group just kind of found out, oh, we didn't sign up for this. So then they brought us in, and I don't think there's only a few people on staff who were here the last time there was for episode 7, because Rogue One, everybody says was like Marvel movie size, maybe a little more, but episode 7 was, you can't there's nothing to compare it to.
Right, so, it's back after a while. Yeah. It's the older characters. It's a new trilogy. No George Lucas. There was so many things that was just the perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, they're expecting the same thing for 8.
My guess for 8 is it's not going to be as big, but I mean, working there, I imagine it's going to be just the same.
It's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
That's crazy.
And the first screening is at 6:00 on Thursday, and it's a whole big package. And a lot of theaters did this. Like, you get a toy and like a little special popcorn tin, like an actual tin popcorn bucket.
Oh wow!
And there's like, I was like, okay, cool, that sounds neat. It's like $30 for the whole.
That's
ticket.
Awesome.
And I was
that's awesome. Yeah, for a movie like that, I would totally do it. They're not doing that. I think we're getting a poster or something for opening night, but
yeah, and I know they're doing it at a handful of them. I think the one in Charlotte's doing something like that too, because it's a big, like, that's the one that's got the IMAX down in Charlotte. We've got a bigger screen potentially, but it's not quote unquote IMAX, because that's actually a brand, and I didn't realize that. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, just like Dolby.
Yeah, I didn't realize, because I had something I'll talk about next week. That, because I haven't gotten it yet, but they make clip-on 3D glasses, and I didn't know that. Like, they make clip-on shades.
Right, so like you clip it onto your glasses?
Yeah, like you do, because you know how, like, you go through Walmart or something and you see like clip-on sunglasses for people who have prescription glasses. Right.
They
make 3D clip-ons.
Oh, that's interesting. So that's better for people who actually wear glasses.
Yeah, and I didn't know about them until, like, I kind of stumbled across it earlier today, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I saw them, and it was like $9 on Amazon. I was like, well, what the hell? I'll get a pair. Like, I'll try them. Why not?
Oh, that's awesome.
Because wearing 3D glasses over prescription glasses sucks.
Oh, yeah. I imagine. Yeah, I can't. I can't imagine. That's.
Yeah, it's horrible. But it was interesting because they're like, okay, here are the real 3D ones, or you can get IMAX ones, or you can get a combo pack. And I thought, well, wait a minute, what's 3D and IMAX? What's the difference? And there is a difference. I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I knew that. Yeah, because we're spoiled here in Orlando because of the theaters that we have. But there's different showings for when you go to AMC. You can pick the regular screening, the real 3D, the IMAX 3D, or the Dolby. And I think what they did is they got rid of one of them at the AMC here. They replaced it with the Dolby. Or there was 2 IMAX like screens here.
Okay.
They replaced one of them with the Dolby. That's what it was.
Nice. Yeah.
Which I prefer. Have you ever been to one of the ones with the Dolby?
Is that the one with the Atmos sound?
Yes, it's the one where the speakers are all around the theater.
It's a whole array. I've never been to a theater that had it. But I studied it a little bit when I was at Full Sail, because it was kind of a newish thing still then, and it looks amazing.
Well, I'm sure you'll be back through Florida, the races or family or whatever.
Yeah.
And you stop in Orlando, definitely go see whatever's playing in the Dolby Theater, because It is phenomenal. Like, it does the whole new thing where you get in there and it's all leather seats. They're very wide, so it's good for people like me, of course, but they're wider seats. It feels like a recliner. It feels like your own personal seat that you're not going to bump into someone else with your shoulders and stuff, because the armrests it's not armrests. It's like this big wide platform thing.
Okay. Yeah,
and
it's premium stuff. Yeah.
It's premium. And so like they have it where two seats are kind of closer to each other. So it's almost like couple seats. And then at the end, there's like the single seat. So like if you're just going to the movie by yourself, that's the one I would go to if you're just seeing it by yourself.
Right.
Unless you're going with a date or something like that. So that's perfect. And so that way, like, you can lift up the armrest if you're with somebody or whatnot, but if you're kind of by yourself, you don't feel like you're sitting with someone, and that's awesome.
Right.
And the way the sound just rumbles throughout the whole thing, like, I went there with someone for the first time earlier this year, and she just, like, immediately started shaking because it felt like an earthquake. What totally wasn't expecting it, because when the theater tests the sound, usually it's like, okay, that's really loud and whatever, but like it's like shaking to the point where you think there's something in the seats, which I'm sure there's speakers in the seat or something. I don't know what it was. It felt like you're rumbling. And they do a screen test up on the screen, and they show you what a normal projector looks like with black. And then they show you what this projector looks like with black. And it's like jet black, not like a grayish whatever. So it looks really cool. So if there's one around you, definitely go see it. And you should, whenever you come through the town, you should come check it out.
Yeah, because I know, like, when I lived down there, the only one of those they had was at Downtown Disney. Is that still where the only one is, or do they have any?
No, AMC in Altamont.
Oh man, Altamont has one now too.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's the one I started going to
Nice.
earlier this year. They implemented it, and you can get your seats ahead of time.
Yeah,
which is awesome. So
that's always nice.
Yeah, so if I have a choice, I always see if it's there, and they do cool things. Like over the weekend, they did Monday they did Titanic, so I think they have Titanic in there for a night or two.
Yeah, they did. Altamont always had like special occasion stuff. Some of those are fun, some of those not so much. But I mean, like I don't need to be at a theater. I was actually talking to somebody about that the other day, of saying, I wish we did more stuff like that. Like I don't need the opera at the movies thing, but some of the, like the Doctor Who Christmas special. They're because they've been doing that for a couple of years now, of airing those, or like they did the 50th in theaters, that kind of thing. But I'm like, that would be cool. Like that stuff's awesome.
Yeah, I think they did Game of Thrones and some other cool stuff.
Inhumans, which I'm sure went over real well. But
yeah, no, I got an email for that to go see it. Then I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, but it's a hell of a time to be a movie fan. Unless you're a Cinemark fan, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Well, I mean, we can jump into that real fast if you want to, since we're talking about it.
I don't understand. Like, they call it a subscription service. Okay, so Cinemark, who a month or so ago decided they were gonna do, like, what does Uber call it when like their prices change due to whatever? I'm
not sure. Doesn't Netflix do it too?
No, it's like during like rush hour or something. Their prices go
like a price gauge, or
was it volume pricing or something like that? Whatever the word is, they
gouging is, or I think
yeah, right, that too. But Cinemark was like, hey, we're thinking about doing that because not every surging. Thank you. They were gonna say, hey, so like the big movies that everybody's gonna go see, we're gonna raise the ticket prices on those a little bit, and then the movies that we still have that not a lot of people are going to see, those are gonna be a little bit cheaper. And everybody just kind of went, are you out of your fucking minds? Like, seriously, you think you can get away with that? And I don't know whatever became of that idea. Like, it wasn't something they were like, and we're gonna start doing this immediately. They were like, hey, here's a thought. And everybody just kind of went, just let that thought go. Just don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Right.
They have now actually done. This wasn't an idea. This is an official thing now. Cinemark calls it their movie club, if I've got this right. Yes. And they call it a subscription service because you pay $8.99 a month, and for that, here are the benefits that you have. A 20% discount on concessions. There are no online ticket processing fees. And the kicker is that you get one free adult ticket every month.
What? They know Movie Pass exists, right?
I think they think that, well, you see, but here's the thing. What if you decide that you paid your $8.99 a month and you didn't go see a movie this month? Well, those tickets roll over. So next month you have 2 free adult 2D movie tickets that you can use. And if you want to buy a ticket for your friend to come with you, that's only $8.99 for the ticket.
That's crazy.
This is the dumbest thing I have heard in a very, very long time.
Yeah, that's really stupid.
I mean, that's not even a rewards program. That's a scam, what the hell that is.
That really is. I think for AMC I paid $12 or something and got my got a reward. Their rewards program that got me like
Premiere. It's funny. I actually decided, and it's going to take me a minute to pull this up. I went ahead and put together a list of the other big 2 when it comes to rewards programs. Because Regal has one. Regal's is called their Crown Club. Mm-hmm. And you earn 100 points. It's free. It's totally free. You earn 100 points for every dollar you spend, and you redeem those, what they call credits, for actual rewards. So everything has a price. To upsize your drink is 1,500 credits. A large I don't even see large popcorn on here. Small popcorn is 7,000 credits. Free movie ticket is 15,000 credits. There is a plus side to using it frequently, though, because they also have different levels. You get extra credits if you go more than 6 times a year. There's an extra that bonus doubles if you go more than 10 times a year, and then that bonus doubles if you go more than 20 times a year. So as a free rewards program, not a terrible idea. AMC's, their free level, you get your popcorn refilled, you get 20 rewards points per dollar, and you get a free large popcorn birthday voucher kind of thing.
Right.
The Premiere, which you have and I had it forever. Like, as soon as this came out, I think I was still living in Sarasota when Stubbs was a thing. And it's $15 a year, but you still get your popcorn refill. You get 100 points for every dollar you spend. There's no online ticketing fee. You get a free large popcorn and a drink on your birthday voucher. But this is the one where you can upsize your concessions for free.
Right.
So you're only going to pay for a medium popcorn and a medium drink.
Right.
And you get the larges. And AMC theaters will have a special Premiere Stubbs members line, which I always thought was kind of interesting. But and it's $15 a year, and right now they're doing the $5 Ticket Tuesdays. And that's also, interestingly, that's for either tier. Like, that's for free and Premiere members.
Right. Tuesday's always the day to go. I went over the weekend, and I used that as well. I had $10 on it for her ticket. So mine was through the Movie Pass, but hers, I had $10 credit on it. So I just used that. Yeah. So, and it keeps building because of the concession stand stuff.
That's
so
the
it's
thing.
Totally worth it.
Yeah, concessions dollars go towards, even if you have Movie Pass, because I think we talked about it last episode, like, that doesn't count for Stubbs, but the concessions do. And that's, people spend more on concessions than they do on tickets anyway. But the thing, to go back to the Ticket Tuesdays for just a second, that's not going to be a constant thing. That is going to end. The last $5 Ticket Tuesday, according to their promotional stuff that you see everywhere, is the 17th. Now, I would like to draw everyone's attention to the fact that no, it can't be the 17th, 19th. It'd have to be the 19th because it's a Tuesday. But
We're talking about AMC's?
Yeah, or is it the 12th? It's either the 12th or the 19th. Damn it! Now
extended through the 19th.
19th. So it's 2 weeks from say yesterday. You know what comes out the weekend before this ends?
Star Wars.
God, our Tuesday's gonna be as bad as our weekend. Imagine that for a second. Hey, I want to come see the brand new Star Wars on a Tuesday. Sure, $5, please.
It's only gonna be for 1 day, though, right?
Yeah, but everybody's gonna show. Well, we could go Monday. No. Wait till tomorrow. It's gonna be $5.
Right. Yeah. Tuesday's gonna be a busy day.
They're welcome to it. I don't work Tuesdays.
Oh, that sucks that they're ending that. I really like that Tuesday. I had Tuesdays off for the longest time.
It was supposed to be just like a limited time thing because they started it in like October, I think September, October.
Oh, I thought it's been doing that for a while now.
No, it's been a couple months, but it was supposed to be like a limited run thing, and then they extended it. And I don't know. They may continue to extend it at some point. I don't know because I'm sure it's been making them crazy money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. $5, especially like if you're watching kids. This would be great during the summertime or something. Like you're watching the kids and you want to go see a movie. You wait till Tuesday. $5 a pop. So easy.
Yep. No, it's a great idea. It really is. But that was their whole thing about celebrating the Stubbs program. It was like they reached, what was it, like over 1 million Stubbs members, I think, or something like that.
Damn.
So, but hey, and they're adding food. They're adding more food to more locations and everything. They're pushing the whole like premium movie experience thing. Because there's so many other places that do that already, and it's it's a thing. They have
a I'm gonna do that on the next Tuesday or the Tuesday after that because they have on the website. If you go to the website, they have the $5 camo combos, which is like you get $5 for the popcorn and drink. Yep. Your Stub member, which is dope.
Yeah, and they're
coupons on the site.
Yeah, and they're doing that promotion with Jumanji, where if you upgrade or renew your membership to Premier, then you get an extra large drink. And I haven't seen those cups yet, but our larges are 44 ounces.
Oh, they're huge. They're massive. You go in there and you're going to the bathroom before you leave.
Yeah, I look at these cups and I go at the larges that we have, and it makes me want to go to the bathroom before I go in. Like just like these things, because these things are huge to begin with.
I like that, and this is a total fat kid thing. I love that. I don't know how long ago, maybe a few years ago, when they got. I don't like the soda machines where you have to pour where you do it yourself. I think they taste like garbage, especially if you're a fan of cherry Coke because it just doesn't mix well.
There's a trick to that.
What's the trick?
Say you select your flavor, whatever it is. Don't put your cup under it right away. Hit the dispense it for a second first. Because that first little burst that comes out is just the water and the corn syrup. There's no flavor mixed in with it yet. That first little burst that's clear, and it kind of waters it down, because it has to change over from one to the other. So
hot damn.
Yeah. So hit it for just a second, so you get that little burst, that first like, and then let it go, and then put your cup under and fill it up, and it'll taste better.
Well, there we go. That's what I'll do from now on. Then thanks for the tip, dude. Yeah, but it was I liked it because once I don't like those machines, but once they added them, they now pushed it to where you could get your icy on the outside, and it was the same price. So I was like, oh, that's dope. I don't have to go up there and feel bad for asking for an icy. I can just go get it myself and not feel as awkward.
Yep.
And yeah, so, but yeah, man, no, I'm excited. Are you seeing anything before you go see Star Wars?
Yeah, I want to see what. Give me a second, and I will look up because I want to
go
see.
I heard Wonder was good.
I want to go see that, and I may go see that tomorrow. I just need to look up what's playing here tomorrow.
I think I need to be in a certain mood to see a movie like Wonder.
And that's fair.
Like, I want to see Coco. I think that's going to be the one before I see Star Wars.
Yeah, you gotta see that, man. It's so good. What's out tomorrow? Yeah, I'll probably go see Wonder tomorrow. I might still go see Murder on the Orient Express. I don't know.
Well, there you go.
I'm torn between the two because I know Wonder is gonna be in theaters for a couple more weeks. I can't imagine
That's
Murder
true.
being in there too much longer.
Nah, Star Wars about to dominate.
Mm-hmm. God,
But,
I'm kind of like I'm nervous, but I'm excited. Like this is how I felt when Thor came out, and I was like, okay, I've got to work the premiere night for Thor, but I was actually kind of amped. Like I wasn't freaking out, and that kind of I don't know, that felt weird to me.
you're not jaded yet.
I don't know.
A few more years, you might be a little jaded. Like, oh, here we go. I think that's everybody in their job, unless you're literally like doing what you love, which not everyone is lucky enough to do.
True.
I think everyone's kind of like that, where you're like, you're in there first 6 months, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm ready, let's do it. And God bless you if you're like that the whole time, because that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I think most, at least me, whenever I get, no matter what I do, I get jaded. You get so cynical about everything,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's Star Wars though. People are gonna be excited.
And let me say this, in case for whatever reason we don't do an episode this week, please don't be a dick. Like, just go and enjoy the movie and have fun with people. Don't be an ass.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've talked about that a lot. Like, be kind.
Yeah.
It's got to be rough. I feel it too when some new merchandise is released and I got to pick up some overtime for support. Yeah, because it's Dios míos. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm excited. I know I'm a different end of the spectrum when it comes to being excited for Star Wars. Now here's the thing. Are you going to see the movie? Oh, no, you don't see it beforehand, right? So
Not the way... No, because it doesn't come in... The way that it comes in now is all lock and key, and there's so much security, even on stuff that isn't like Star Wars. There's so much extra security on stuff now because of piracy and all that kind of stuff. So it's not like, hey, guess what print we got in? We're gonna run this, tonight or whatever. Like it's a whole different ballgame now.
Are you seeing it the next day? Like, how are you going to go on a media blackout when you are there?
Because here's the thing with people, I'm gonna be so busy that I'm not gonna be paying any attention to people like talking as they leave. So if anybody's talking about the movie, like, I'm not going to be paying any attention to it.
Now, are you going to be in the theater? Like, are you going to be walking in while they're leaving, or do you know what you're going to be doing?
I'm going to be outside.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Because I know sometimes, it kind of depends on how many people and what movie. Like, for some of them, like, we'll go in, like, as we hear the credits going and just kind of stand down by the corner. I'm sure you've seen that before.
Right.
For the bigger ones, though, we're just in the way, so we just grab a trash can and stand outside the door, and as people start filing out, we just hold the door open, and they'll drop the trash, and then once they're all gone, then we go in. But
but that's when everyone's talking about it. That's when they're all going, oh my God, can you believe that Yoda came back and killed Luke?
I know, and that's gonna be a pain. But
Shut up!
Yeah, right. I'm gonna be standing there just humming to myself the whole time, just like.
Can you have headphones in?
No, we can't, because.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, I'm so tempted though, man. But because they're in the midst of throwing out trash and everybody just walking by and everything. It all just sounds like it's just noise. There's an actual word for it in
white noise.
Yeah, but no, like in movies when somebody's like in a cafe and people are talking and everything, there's a word for that.
Ambient? No,
you're thinking of ambient, but that's not
ambient.
It's
I'm terrible with words. I don't know.
Oh, it's gonna come. I may have to look it up, and that sucks because this is a word I should definitely know. But
you should of all people should know it.
Right, because it's not chatter or warble. Because there's even a script. Oh, it's gonna make me cry. I'm gonna have to look it up. But anyway.
Look it up.
It's just all gonna be that. Like I'm just gonna hear between just a bunch of people talking and throwing out trash and everything. I'm not gonna hear anything. I know that. So if I hear people start talking, I'm just gonna start humming the theme really loud. So
Right.
so I definitely don't hear it.
Yeah.
But I am hoping, my plan is like that weekend an early morning screening somewhere, but it's gonna depend on my schedule. Not just there, but at my other job too. And the schedule at my delivery job may depend on my theater schedule, because they may just say, look, we know you're here Thursday, but you're gonna come in Thursday and leave on Saturday, okay?
Right. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. When are you actually gonna see it?
It's gonna be like that weekend. It's gonna be the first chance that I get. Like,
are the tickets all sold out where you're at?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're completely sold out here.
I'm not surprised.
Were you able to get a ticket, or?
I didn't even look.
Oh man,
no,
jeez.
Because that's the thing. I don't know my schedule for that weekend, so there was no point in buying a ticket for anything.
So you might not see it that weekend.
I may not. It depends. I may have to wait until like Monday or Tuesday to see it, which means like I'm not going to be on Twitter. I'm not going to be on Facebook. I'm not going to be on anything for like
media
a weekend.
blackout.
Oh, totally.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll have to.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't see it by Tuesday, let me know, and we might push the show to Wednesday or whatnot. But yeah, I want you to be able to talk about it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm absolutely 100% using my movie pass wherever I can. I'm going to be seeing it that night, and then I'm just going to try and go to the smaller theaters, the ones that I know probably aren't going to be sold out all weekend, and see what I can do. Because man, I am pumped. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. There is some big news this week.
Yeah, because like we had kind of talked about this, just in talking about it like the last episode, but now we've had like we've had some movement, as they say.
Yeah. The big news this week, and I don't have it even up in front of me right now. I don't know what happened to it, but so it was reported that, which sounds crazy at first, but it was reported that Disney was looking to purchase 20th Century Fox.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Most of it. Yeah,
most of it. So what they would not purchase is the sports and the news part of it. And so mostly essentially would be the movies, the film part of it. I think like FX, all of that, all of those channels. Things like, when we were talking about this before we got on, things we didn't even think about, but they're sharing Hulu as well, which would boost them to 60% owners, which means essentially Disney would own Hulu. Now, before you start screaming, no, Disney's getting too big, Disney's getting too big.
Yeah, let's talk about the alternative.
The alternative was the other big company that they were courting, which was Comcast.
Yeah, evil, devil, go away.
Voted. It wasn't voted. It was like whatever that whoever does the worst company in America, every year.
Yeah, the
Consumer Reports.
Yeah, Consumer Reports. Yeah, I think
Comcast was 2014, 2007, and one other year.
the only years it beat out EA, which they may run neck and neck this year.
They may, yeah. It's a big Comcast. No, I do not want. And I just don't want an ISP owning something like 20th Century Fox. I understand the mentality of not wanting Disney because Disney is huge, but let's be honest, it is going to be one of the big ones that buy them. It has to be.
Yeah.
It can't be a little startup company.
And let's not forget that Comcast is Universal as well.
Exactly. So Universal, oh my God.
It's going to be one of the remaining big studios one way or another. And that's what makes this news gigantic, is that it takes one of the big tentpole studios completely out of play.
Right. The only other companies I think that could come close to buying it is something like maybe Amazon or Apple.
Or Google, maybe.
Or Google, which would be interesting for any of those, and I would rather them than Comcast. But when it's down to Comcast and Disney, I'm sorry. We're first of all, we're nerds. We want Disney to purchase this for a big reason. We would love to see, first of all, the Marvel would have. I saw a great meme. It had Thanos picking out the stones, and it was putting one of the stones was the Fantastic Four, the other or Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, and he was plucking the X-Men stone from the Vision skull and putting it in his glove.
Nice.
So we would be seeing Disney being able to play with all their toys in a box.
Yeah.
Sony still has the rights to Spider-Man, but hey, we're playing along. That's all that matters.
Right.
This would be massive for that. Not only that, to be a geek or whatever, then they would also have the distribution rights for the original Star Wars movies.
Yep.
Which means you could possibly see things like the unaltered version of Star Wars being released on Blu-ray by Disney.
That's the thing that we want out of that. We've seen everything's been remastered and redone, and part of it has been so that whoever it's been with at the time could issue a new release for it, because we can't get the originals as long as, because I think Fox only holds the distribution rights for the first one, for the unaltered version of A New Hope, but still that's, you can't do the whole trilogy like that. That's why the complete saga was the altered versions, because they had to be.
Right, exactly. And I know a lot of people think like, and we can go into like, of course, there's a big aspect of this, like the business wise, but hey, we're geeks, so that's what we're going to be talking about with this.
Yeah.
We are We Geek podcast. So, I saw some concerns people were throwing around, like, well, Deadpool, like, there's no way Disney's going to allow them to do Deadpool, right?
Sure they will, and that's the interesting thing. That's the way I want this announced. I want to see, like, the big sign that says, "Welcome to Disney World," and you see the park in the distance, and it slowly pans down, and you start seeing, like, the giant ears, and then, as it comes down, you realize, like, oh, it's not Mickey Mouse, it's a hat. And as you pan down, it's somebody in, like, either a Hawaiian shirt or, like, a Disney shirt, and, the khaki shorts and sandals with socks, but it's Deadpool. It's him in his costume perfect. With all that stuff on, and he just kind of turns and looks at the camera like, oh yeah, and then just walks into the park. Like, it's just Deadpool on holiday. No swords, no any of that, but it's just I
love that.
That would be a great way to just put that up on the page and watch people. You want to break the internet? That would do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And what I was going to say was, if you're afraid that Disney is afraid to do something like that, go watch The Punisher, which is something I finished. Not to spoil too much, but there are some extremely violent scenes in that movie.
You're not kidding.
Right. So, they're not, Disney has treated their franchises with a lot of respect that they've purchased. They know what people want. They are not a stupid company. If anything, they give it to them. And we've seen that tenfold when it comes to things that we want. It seems like other studios are somewhat embarrassed of their franchises sometimes. Or they're like, well, we can do it, but let's change it and alter it. And they not give people exactly what they want. I think they've tenfold with Star Wars and with Marvel. You won't please everybody, but I think they've made the smart decisions. Like, for example, the stuff with the canon, they came out and said, hey, that stuff is great. We're still going to be producing it. You can still go and buy it. It's still there, all the old books.
Yeah.
But in order for us to have a new and exciting canvas, we need to be able to do new stories and kind of go from there, because this trilogy would not be that exciting, and the one that's coming out after that is not going to be that exciting if we know everything.
Yeah.
So I see this as nothing but a win.
And here's why I think Disney, aside from all the reasons Disney might be a favorite in terms of money or exposure or any of the obvious ones, let me ask a question. Do you know who and it's an easy question because we talked about it a little bit last week. Who owns the distribution rights and everything? Who is producing the Avatar sequels?
Isn't it 20th Century Fox?
Yes. Where is the Avatar theme park?
It's at Disney. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
They already have. There is a partnership here. There are, and I know everybody has deals with all this and everything, but I think those are things that help open doors. And I think that, and I wonder, it just kind of makes me wonder if maybe in those talks somewhere there was a foundation laid for this. I wonder, and that's why it's at Disney and not at, say, Universal, for instance. You know, I don't know. I wonder. I like little things like that. It just makes me think.
Oh yeah, no doubt, absolutely. You know, it's going to be interesting. I hope it does come to pass. It's one of those things that this is inevitable. They're going to sell to somebody, so it's not one of those like, oh no, this is going to be a monopoly. It's going to happen, and
yeah,
I can't think of a better company to do something like that. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but I've always enjoyed my time when I go to Disney. I've always enjoyed their films, their movies, their television. Mm-hmm. To me, they haven't done anything that seems terribly bad. I think they've treated all of their properties with nothing but respect, and their fans with nothing but respect. You know, it's I don't know. I don't know if it's because I live in Orlando that it makes me biased or what, but I mean, bro, you know me. You know how much I love Star Wars and Marvel, just like you do too. I would be furious if they were just stomping all over it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no. If it was wrong, you'd be at the head of the mob with a torch in one hand and a pitchfork in the other.
Exactly. So, you know, I mean, and just those things alone, those are going to excite us. But it's crazy to think what they're going to own at that point. Like you said, Avatar. Like, that is a massive franchise that I think moving forward, it would be interesting to see how the films do now that it's in Disney hands. For one, you're going to see a lot more of them. It wouldn't be just like, hey, we're going to do another one, and then we'll see. I think they would, I don't know. They're working on it right now, right?
They're working on what? I'm sorry.
Avatar.
Yeah, they're doing there's so much going on with that. It's kind of insane.
Right, so it would be interesting to once this how would this even work? Let's say they go to purchase them. It wouldn't even take place until months later. It'd have to pass in court and everything else, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a deal that's going to have to go on for a while. I mean that's got to go through all kinds of things before it clears those hurdles. I mean, look at what AT&T's doing with Time Warner right now and how that's and how long that's been taking. So I mean, I just don't know how is that going to affect what's already in production. I'm not sure if, and I think that's up to them. That's going to be those mutually agreed upon. Like, okay, we're not going to mess. Like New Mutants will be fine. Deadpool 2 obviously will be fine. I don't know about Avatar because of that production schedule.
I have a stinking suspicion, and this is just me putting my tinfoil hat on. So, all right, guys, everybody put on your tinfoil hats real fast. How awesome would it be if by the end of the Avengers 2 film, and I think maybe we've talked about this, something happens, reality shatters, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, you get two guys at the door, and it's Professor X, and it's Wolverine. And he's like, we got to talk, or we got to talk, bub, or something like that. I don't know. How do you think that – I have a stinking suspicion because they say everything after this film will change in the Disney Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
How do you think they have been preparing for this behind the scenes, thinking we're going to have – the Fantastic Four and the X-Men implemented after those films? And if they do that, that comes out next year. Do you think that they would be able to start production of those films next year or the year after?
I don't know how soon that would be. I don't know how. Again, I think that may be something that is kind of legally.
That'd be crazy.
Weird. But
think about Deadpool. He could look at Thanos and go, "You kind of look like a friend of mine."
Yeah,
like you could just do that at the end of it.
Right.
It would totally, like, I think Deadpool would be, and just have Deadpool and Wolverine be the only two that realized what happened in the old,
Yeah.
the only two that remembered the old universe.
And I wonder, because the deal with Disney to work on the Avatar theme park was back in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if they're playing that kind of a long game, then that's some Game of Thrones shit.
Well, think about the comics too. They've pulled the Fantastic Four pretty much, and they haven't created any new X-Men in years.
Yeah,
because of their beef with Fox.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Do you think? And that had nothing to do with Disney. I don't think that was Marvel Comics. What's his face who runs it? Do you think that they've been? I mean, obviously they've been wanting to do a deal, so they've been holding back on advertising for them.
Yeah.
Do you think? I don't know. I just have an idea that that's what they're waiting on.
I mean, it's entirely possible.
It's going to be interesting. We'll find out. Apparently, we're supposed to find this out soon, like in the next week or two. So,
yeah, could you imagine, like, oh, I'm so glad I own Disney stock. Because could you
Yeah,
imagine they announced this deal on the same week that Star Wars comes out?
Yeah.
Jesus, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
it's going to be crazy.
That's going to be massive.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, the divisions are 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, Fox 21st Television Studios, 20th Century Fox Television, 20th Television, 20th Century Fox Animation, Fox Searchlight Pictures. There's a few other ones in there.
It's pretty much everything except anything that's a division of Fox Sports, Fox News, or the local Fox stations.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Say Disney buys out all of everything that's included in this. Does that include Family Guy and The Simpsons?
I think that does.
Does that include, everything that's on FX?
Alien, War of the Planet of the Apes, Kingsman. All of these films would now be owned by, Titanic, The Simpsons. This is a massive franchise. Die Hard, Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Trolls series.
Yeah, those movies make money.
But I could totally see them doing. Of course, they continue Aliens. They continue Planet of the Apes.
Could you just imagine? You go to see the next Alien movie, and the first thing you have to see is the Disney logo.
I was wondering, would we get the 20th Century Fox noise before a Star Wars film? Because that would be the whole package.
Yeah, I don't know.
You wouldn't like that?
Not really.
Oh, I love that. Oh man, I'm not gonna do it, but I love that noise when I'm watching it on Blu-ray or whatever. I'm just like, yes, this is awesome.
I'm wondering though if this means, because you can't really put the Disney logo before an Alien movie. So I'm wondering if now they bring back Touchstone Pictures for this.
I'm sure they'll probably,
because that was kind of what that imprint was for, was like all of the not exactly Disney image.
All they'd have to do is just rename it to 20th Century and just leave out the Fox part.
I think maybe they changed the name of some of the studios, maybe, but I think a lot of them maybe you just leave themselves, like it's Disney, but you don't. I don't know.
I think 20th Century would. If I were them, I would just leave it and call it 20th Century, just because
I'd call it 22nd Century, just because 20th Century just sounds old.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the music that it plays and the way it looks with the spotlight. Like that's, I don't know. That's just me. I like that.
I think that goes away though. I think that everything after, like anything that's not something currently in development. It's gonna be a while. It's gonna be like with the Marvel films. Some of them still had the Paramount logo and stuff because they had still been part of that deal.
It's just so classic, I guess. I just love
Yeah.
seeing it in front of
I know.
stuff. Like it brings that nostalgia. I was a little disappointed when, of course, we didn't see it in front of the new Star Wars movie, because that just gets you when it plays that music and it says the Lucasfilm and it lights up and it's oh man, it's so cool, so nostalgic for me.
Yeah. You're not
you know,
wrong. You're not wrong.
I love it. I love seeing that in front of a movie because it's so loud and it's iconic. And you're probably right that they probably will change it and alter it and create a new name or whatever.
Yeah. No, I think that whole thing goes away. I do, and it's gonna suck. But at the end of the day,
to me, it's as iconic as seeing the Disney castle on the.
That's fair. That's totally fair because they've been around forever. They're one of the big six for a reason. Like,
yeah, absolutely. You see it when you watch The Simpsons sometimes.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's iconic as like The Simpsons at the end of it, where they're in the theater and she goes, shh.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, they're like, you ever think about every once in a while, I think about the ending of shows. Like, there's one of them that says, "Michael, move your head," I think. But I have no idea the studio names.
Oh, I can't remember. I remember
One Bad Hat, Harry.
That's One Bad Hat, Harry. I remember
Bad Robot.
Yeah. I love what was it, Mutant Enemy that worked on whatever it was that worked on, I think, like Buffy.
Yeah.
Grr, arg, with the little thing shuffling across. Like, stuff like that sticks with you.
It does.
It really does. And we don't have, think about, and this kind of goes back to the idea of not just things that are iconic for studios, but franchises. Everybody can hum the Superman theme or the Batman theme. Can anybody hum the Avengers theme off the top of their head? I doubt it.
The Avengers?
Yeah.
Okay, but I gotta defend the Avengers for a moment.
Okay.
Just and this sounds crazy. It's been 20 movies, right?
Yeah.
This trailer, when the song plays, it is so iconic now that I think it has just recently crossed into the threshold that when you hear it, you're hearing the Avengers theme song.
Yeah, I guess I just miss.
Watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Just watch the trailer. Pay attention. Just strictly zone in on the music. And when they play that, especially towards the end when he's running, because anytime I hear that now, I think of the scene in the first movie where they're all standing around in the circle.
Yeah.
I think of the scene in there's two times they play it in the Age of Ultron when they are all running through the woods, and then at the end when they're all in that room together.
Yeah.
And that's that chord, I don't know why, it's to me right now it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it.
And that's fair, but I think that if it goes away for 20 years, nobody's gonna remember. People still sing the Batman theme song from the TV show from 50 years ago.
I think it's just taken a long time because we don't see an Avengers film every year. We see it like every 3 or 4 years.
It's not it's not catchy.
It's not on Harry Potter's level. It's not on Star Wars. It's not on, when you hear the Harry Potter, the dun, 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 I'm not going to do it because I sound terrible, but when you hear that tune anywhere, you're like, oh shit, that's the Potter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess, but like the catchiest thing that Marvel has done music-wise was the Star-Spangled Man with a Plan. Like.
No, I see. This is where we have to agree to disagree because I do think the Avengers is now it's there because I can't think of any other Marvel character that has their theme that is as iconic as the Avengers theme.
Spider-Man
is always been the same theme. I can't tell you the new Spider-Man theme because is it sound like the old one?
I think there's a bit of the old one influencing it. Yeah.
Well, but that's what I mean.
That's just
like,
it. Yeah.
Avengers is totally original. Yeah. The only one that I can think of recently, with Wonder Woman, like that is when I hear that, what the da-na-na-na.
Well, like, and because it's different from the rest of that the entirety of DC's film music is all kind of its own thing, but that Wonder Woman theme is just completely different.
Oh yeah.
So you can't possibly mistake that. And I'm not bashing on anybody's music, like this. It works in its instances and everything. I'm just saying you know, 50 years on, people are still humming the Batman TV show theme.
Give it time. They got 20 more movies in the bucket they're talking about. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't think it's catchy enough that when we're old and really, really gray, I don't think we're going to be able to hum the Avengers theme. I just don't think we're going to remember it. I don't
know. I hope we do, because when I hear it in that trailer, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it.
I agree.
Maybe I'm just because I've seen the trailer 50 times since then. I've been showing everybody. Went to my mom's house and I put it on because they don't watch stuff on YouTube or whatever.
Right.
Turned up the speakers. Just they were blown away. So it's like, yes, this is awesome.
That I get the idea of like, okay, this, you recognize it in the moment, so you get like, oh yeah, this is big, this is important. I get that, but
they're playing it when Cap comes out from the shadows. Like, it's just, I don't know why. I would agree with you if we had this conversation before that trailer. That's why I said this is so recent for me. It wasn't until the trailer where I was like, that's the tone, that's the tune. It's when Tony says, or when they said, I'm sorry, it's at the beginning too, where Samuel L. Jackson is like, what does he say? There was an idea. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And the song played it plays in my head right now when I hear that. But I don't know. I think 20 years from now, when they have 20 more, not 20 years, I guess 10 years from now, when they have 20 more movies, it'll be ingrained in people's head, because by that point, the Harry Potter is going to be how old, and you might not hear that theme for a very long time. Like that.
That's true in a way, but it's been 40 years and people still recognize the Superman theme.
That's true. The Star Trek one is great too.
Yeah, Star Trek, and Star Wars, but that's never left. Even with like the cartoons and everything, like it's always been here. So that's had that going for it. But
I think that I can't think of, that was the one thing from Force Awakens that didn't stick out to me, because I know they had new music in it, obviously, but it didn't stick with me. Like, for example, I can still hear the love tune even from like the episode 2. You know what I mean? Like, because even though the movie wasn't the best of the Star Wars movies, that theme was awesome. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, there hasn't. I'll give you that. Like, Force Awakens didn't establish any new kind of like, oh, we're gonna play this music everywhere kind of music. Like, there was no Cantina song,
right?
Like, that's, the themes are always going to be the themes. I'm sure we'll hear some kind of modified version of the Imperial March when we see whatever's happening with Snoke. There'll be some variation on it, and that's right. But just there has to be something. There's got to be something that sticks. And maybe we'll get that. What's the casino place they're going to? Canto Bight? Isn't that what it's called? Like, there's a place where you could have it. I want the music for that planet better blow me the hell away.
Well, apparently I forgot what band, like a really famous band, was that Maz Kanata's thing, but I can't think of it. I have to look it up. But it didn't stick out when they went to her. You know what I mean? You look it up while I think about this. But I can't think of another franchise recently that the music just that just blew me away, that wasn't relying on nostalgia. Besides Star Trek, that Star Trek theme is just when it pumps in. And was the new Star Trek movies, was that a new theme that they did?
They may have tweaked it a little, but I think they left it largely the same.
Is it the same though? Because it's not the classic music. It's not Next Generation. The big orchestra, like when it comes in and it says Star Trek in the big stone letters, and it's the big, drums or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm still on Wars. I totally missed when you said Trek.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
I totally missed it. Oh, man, I don't know, because I'm not that up on my Star Trek music. I don't know all that much.
Yeah. If next time you watch the Star Trek movies, when the big letters come in at the beginning and it says Star Trek, and the big like stone letters turn, when that music hits in, it's awesome. but I can't think of, my mind's just going blank here, but Jurassic Park, of course, is classic.
Yeah. But I mean, there's, and here's the interesting thing. The part of that theme that some people think is iconic is not the same as the part that other people think is iconic.
Oh, go on.
There's two very distinct parts to that. And some people lean towards the first part of it, which is the more slow, like the da-na-na, I can't carry tune to save my life. But then there's the part that some people gravitate towards immediately, which is the more the bum 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 bum. Exactly. That's the part that I think of. But some people like the slower portion of that, and they gravitate more towards that as like, no, that's what it should sound like.
Right.
I know it's a weird discussion when you're like, no, but it's the same song.
Right. Back to the Future is pretty classic too.
God, man, I rewatched that trilogy the other night.
You know what you need to see?
What?
You need to watch Legends of Tomorrow, for the love of God. I'm catching up with it. There's an episode where they go to the 80s, and one of the characters is a kid who finds an alien in the woods. So it's straight up E.T. The guy across the street is a DeLorean, and he's like, well, this is a time machine. Like, oh my God. The show's so good. They even dropped the Incredible Hulk in it. Like, what? Like, oh my God. The Legends of Tomorrow is by far now my favorite. I love The Flash. If you would have held a gun to my head, I'd probably say The Flash is my favorite of the shows.
Yeah.
Because it does a good mixture of the serious, the romantic stuff, and the pulp culture stuff with Cisco. It does a really good blend of that. But Legends of Tomorrow is like taking the brakes off. We're going to go full into your face with crazy shit. We're going to chase aliens in the 80s one episode and then be in the Wild West the next episode. And it's so much fun. Oh my God, is that show so much fun. I've really been trying to I've caught up on The Flash now. I've caught up on Legends, and now I'm going to do Arrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say they have Elastic Man now on The Flash, whose character is super annoying, but I guess that's the point.
Yeah.
But his the CGI looks fantastic from
Nice.
when he does the stretchy stuff. And it's, I don't know, it's just been a really cool show.
Yeah. Okay, so the band at Maz's Castle was called Shag Kava, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong. The thing behind it was that the interesting thing was that Lin-Manuel Miranda helped write their music.
Oh,
that was the name behind it. Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And since we're in the middle of house cleaning, it comes out on Blu-ray on January 9th. And the background noise that I was talking about earlier is called Walla. And that's why it was driving me crazy. Because I was like, I know this word.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, where were we? We went all over the place there with that one.
Yeah, we're just kind of jumping around.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But yeah, so Disney buying this is massive. It's going to change a lot of things. It's in the geek world. It's going to hopefully be good, for these movies. They're going to do a good Fantastic Four. Just go look at The Incredibles.
Right, exactly. Like that is pretty much what they are. Pixar made a Fantastic Four movie without really intending to, but they did.
Right. I think they do a good job with the X-Men. I imagine they probably take it a little bit back to its roots, and with Cyclops and Jean Grey and Wolverine and all that.
Yeah, they're just going to reset that whole thing. That's why I think that...
Make them a little younger.
Yeah, they'll let New Mutants go, and maybe... that's the thing. We're not going to see a new X-Men film right out of the gate. They'll let...
Right, yeah. I mean, the thing is, New Mutants can be in the same world because it's so different and by itself, like Deadpool.
Yeah, very true. Like those, that can stay. Deadpool will obviously stay because Disney is not stupid.
Yeah, they're not.
I'm interested to see the big thing is Gambit. Where does it fall in all this? That's the one wild card for me. is where does that wind up? Sorry, I couldn't help it. But
yeah, I mean, but honestly, that's been on the cutting room floor for a long time now.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for that for so long. So what that another company, Disney might pick it up, or they might go, that's not in the cards for us.
Exactly. Really, you too?
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
It's gonna be interesting. So hopefully we'll know next week. And if we know next week, then it's gotta be Disney, because Comcast can't be suicidal enough to say,
oh my God,
we're gonna go up against, we're gonna announce that we outbid Disney on the same week that Star Wars opens, because that's just lunacy.
Oh man, I would hate that. That would be the worst timeline.
Yeah, it would. But hey, so given where we are now, that's probably what's gonna happen. So
yeah. Oh yeah, but we got some other news here. Rian Johnson says that his trilogy will not be set in the Old Republic.
Yeah, we're not gonna get a KOTOR movie trilogy. It's a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really been a fan of. I liked the game.
Yeah.
I played Old Republic online forever, but it's not a. I don't know. I wouldn't want to see a movie out of it. I'd want to see a TV show, if anything.
I want my Revan trilogy, man. He's got a story in 3 parts. He's got a story in 3 parts already, and he's an awesome, badass character, and I want that.
I'm just not a fan of prequels, no matter what it is.
I know, but here's the thing. With the Star Wars universe, you can go so far back that you don't necessarily know what happens.
That's true.
Because it's not like, we're doing prequels to the prequels. It's like, no, we're going way the hell back.
Yeah.
So that's, that sets up suspense. If it's like, it's a long, seriously, like really freaking long time ago.
Right. I guess I'm more excited about a clean slate in the Star Wars universe, and they've never touched it before. That to me is more exciting than here's this thing you've done.
Right, and I understand that, and I'm totally cool with that, and I would look forward to that, because we haven't, even if you take all of the expanded universe into account, there has to be just a ridiculous amount of untapped potential. There's no
I would
question.
love it as a side film where they're like, we're gonna put this out there, and if people bite, which they are, that would be cool. Then they could be like, okay, here's this own separate trilogy that we're doing, That would be cool. But yeah, I'm sure it's not the end of the Old Republic. I'm sure we'll either get, because, we still have the TV show, Star Wars TV show, and, who knows what games they're going to do.
But yeah, no kidding. We only have Rebels for this season, though. Then it's over.
No, but Disney is working on a live-action television show.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, so there's always hope for that. It's not... The Old Republic is not dead until Disney says that's not canon anymore. Right,
which they'll never do, because
no.
Just because of the idea that there's so much back there they could do. They're not stupid enough to just say, like all the books and everything and all that. We know none of that's canon, because none of the EU is canon. But they haven't. They still hint at the Old Republic in so many of all the little side stuff. So
in Rebels, like, it's straight up from the Old Republic, some of the outfits and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're not dumb. They're gonna, and if they'll probably tweak it. If anything, they'll be like, well, that happened, but that thing, they'll change it. You know what I mean? So it won't be, like, for example, if they introduce Mara Jade in this one, Mara Jade or whatever her name is,
I will lose my freaking mind. Are you kidding? I will run screaming from the theater from excitement.
They could not introduce her, and she's just not a part of the new stuff. They could introduce her and just say a little bit of what's happened, and that's all we know. So, like, it's a character from the EU that's now in the new canon, but it doesn't mean that everything that happened in the books happened here. It's just only what is said.
Exactly.
So, and that would be cool, because then it would be like, okay, well, now we got our character, and now there's a mystery behind her that we don't already know. And so,
oh man, just.
It would be cool, because there's a lot about Luke we don't know, and who's to say we even learn anything about it in this one? We might not.
Hamill himself teased a little something. Did you see that?
No, what did he tease?
Basically, just the idea of no spoilers, but on a much larger... Like, he was really emphatic about it, which kind of seemed to imply that there's some big shit going down.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think they hint at it in the trailer because it constantly says, I'm going to word it wrong, but he's like, you think you have an idea, or what does he say?
Oh, I haven't
you
seen
think
it.
You know how this is going to go, or
right,
something
yeah.
like that. I think that's the big hint, like, hey, you know what would be crazy? I saw some people talking about this. They don't know anything. They're just like, wouldn't it be fucking nuts if Leia turned in this one, if she was the bad guy because her kid killed Han? I don't think it's going to happen, obviously.
No, because
she's too good, and her character just would not do that, but that would be a fucking twist and a half.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know anything. If that happens,
because I hear so many people spin so many theories. Like, I can't keep them straight anymore. Like,
right, exactly. Literally anything can happen.
Yeah.
And I love that. I absolutely love that.
This was funny because this isn't spoiler or anything, because we were talking about Force Awakens, and because I was helping sweep behind concessions, and there were 3 of us up there. And we were talking about, okay, so who is who? Like, in The Force Awakens, clearly Han is meant to be like the Obi-Wan. You know, Rey is right. Luke, because this is her story. Poe is kind of a Han, Leia kind of mix, in a way. And we all kind of sort of agreed on that. You know, BB-8 is obviously the new R2-D2. And so we thought, well, okay, who do we have left? And we all went, oh, yeah, Finn. Well, who was Finn? And all I could think was, he's always in over his head. He and BB-8 have some of the best interactions, so clearly Finn is the new C-3PO. And that, like, they all just kind of stopped and looked at me like I had said the dumbest thing ever, but they couldn't argue with it.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
And that was just hysterical to me.
Yeah. I could say they took a lot from Han in him, because running away from battle the whole movie, like, no, we need to get away from here.
True.
That's what Han was doing the whole first movie. And it looks like in the second one he goes head on with, you know, they show in the trailer, they show him with Captain Phasma. So, but I think you are absolutely right that he is the C-3PO.
Like, he's more he's kind of the C-3PO of it.
Yeah.
Like...
They paint him as kind of a coward, even though he has his moments where he stands up and he fights back, and so that's awesome. You know, of course. But yeah, man, I can't wait. I honestly can't wait.
I'm excited, man. Just over a week. I'm so pumped.
I think we're gonna find out more about Luke. We're gonna find out what happened with Ben, you know, and when he was younger, and all of that. Like, I can't wait. It can't come soon enough. So
just it's almost here.
It's almost here.
And I can't believe that. Like, I remember when I started working there, and I was like, oh, cool. And then, you know, there's gonna be Star Wars, and like, I was excited and nervous and everything. And now I'm like, oh shit, that's next week. Like, I worked that premiere. I'm kind of not, like, on the one hand, I'm really looking forward to it, and on a couple of different other hands, I'm really not. But it's going to be fun, and it's weird, because I was walking around in there the other night, just kind of looking around, because I was doing my last rounds, I think, and just kind of looking around, and I was like, you know, it feels like I fit. And I know that's a weird thing to say about some place you work, but, you know, especially not owning a place.
Right.
But I don't know, it just kind of felt right. You know,
right.
And I know that's you know, like, high romanticizing all that stuff, but I don't care. It kind of hit me, and I was like, you know, this works. I like this.
Yeah, no, that's a good feeling to have. You don't want the opposite feeling of like, no, I am in the most uncomfortable place, and you know, so that's good. That's a place to be.
So I'm hanging on to that for as long as it lasts.
Oh yeah, until you become jaded and done with movies. I'm just kidding. I don't think we'll ever be done with movies.
I hope not, man. I ever get to that point, I'm just done. Just pack it in.
But speaking of what's people done with movies, Bryan Singer was fired from Bohemian Rhapsody.
And there were conflicting reports about this. One report talked about he and Rami Malek were always at each other and arguing and all that stuff. But those same accounts, and according to Brian's statement, they did, finally manage to bury the hatchet and get on with the work. The statement that Singer put out was basically saying, what we'd heard, a week or so ago, that he took an unexpected leave because of his health and the health of one of his parents. And his story is that he went to Fox and said, hey, I need to go take care of this. And they said, no, we can't let you go. And he went anyway, because he has his priorities in order, and the health of family is more important than this. And so, that's it. And then Fox fired him, and that's his statement.
I read that he had PTSD or something.
You work for Fox as long as he had, maybe you do, because
didn't he have people? Hasn't he been involved with controversy with people claiming he sexually harassed them and stuff?
There's been some of that too. I remember before Apocalypse there was a story that broke about this, and he voluntarily stepped aside from that because I think he was just producing that one. I think. Right. And he kind of stepped aside, and there was a whole to do, and maybe there's some more of that bubbling below the surface because of everything that's coming out, and that's this could be part of it. We don't know. We only know what they tell us. So I don't know. That could definitely be a part of it.
Oh yeah. We got some Scooby-Doo news. Warner Brothers development. You go ahead and take it. Actually.
Yeah, moving from one thing way into the other. Warner Brothers has decided, what Scooby-Doo needs? A Daphne and Velma origin story.
Well, there you go.
That's certainly something I didn't see coming at all.
Nope.
And they're doing it in conjunction with Blondie Girl Productions, which is the Tisdale Sister setup production company. And they cast Sarah Jeffrey, who was in Shades of Blue, and Sarah Gilman, who was in Last Man Standing, to play the leads. And okay, sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
It's a brave new world, and I just think the allure of Scooby-Doo is actually having Scooby in it.
Oh yeah, no, totally. What the fuck are they doing?
I think here's the thing. I think this could be. I think their idea might be that this is an interesting movie that wouldn't get as much traction if it wasn't attached to something. So they're just saying, oh, it's instead of it's a story about teenage girls and we're gonna make it interesting. Instead, they're going, hey, it's a story about Daphne and Velma, the early years. I don't see this as a really great, as a Scooby-Doo movie. I think it's a bad idea. As a use of that license, I think it's just kind of a bad idea.
Yeah.
I hope it's a good movie because I actually do think the idea is that Daphne transfers to Velma's tech school. It's kind of MIT-ish. And, both of them are actually very intelligent, and it kind of turns that whole kind of thing from the original show on its head and all that.
Did they say Shaggy and Scooby are not in this?
There was no official statement about it, but
oh, well, they could easily be in it as side characters.
Yeah, I don't know.
They'd be smart if they did that. I don't know, because who is this for? The kids?
I don't know. Maybe
kids want Scooby. Come on.
That's my thing. Is that this franchise is about the dog. I'm sorry to every other character involved and what you could do with them, but that's
you're not gonna make a Garfield movie about the owner and leave Garfield out.
I don't know. It might have made those movies better.
No, those movies were trash. But when you go see Garfield, imagine going to see a Garfield movie. It's just about his owner,
and it's just about John. Yeah,
and you never see Garfield, and it's like, what? Not just you, because we're not the audience for this. Specifically, it's more towards children. Why would they go see that?
Right.
We'll see it, and I think we would see it and enjoy it. but I don't understand how that would work without the kids being excited for it.
Yeah. I don't know. I understand, like, it's supposed to be, and hopefully will be, like, a big empowerment kind of, these are smart girls, and it's not just the same stereotypes from the last, all of history. And I'm totally down with that. Go for it.
It doesn't even have to have Shaggy. Scooby should be it. Maybe Scooby's their dog, and Shaggy just... Because is Shaggy the owner, or he's just always teamed up with him?
We don't really know. Like, they just kind of wind up together, I think. They've probably established it 5 different ways. But, like, hey, and, these, they're these 2 awesome girls, and, they share a room, and they have to bond over something, so they adopt a Great Dane puppy. And
yes.
There you go. Done. Like, that's...
Perfect.
I'm okay with that. It's just... I get
and at
why...
the end, they get scrappy.
No. No.
Let me at him.
No. Absolutely not. No. No. There will be no puppy power in this film.
Oh, yeah.
God is my witness. No.
Man, you're making me want to see this film now.
Seeing my work here is done.
Yes.
I hope it's good. I'm looking forward to it. I understand why they're doing it, because if you make this movie on its own merits as just, 2 smart girls dealing with college and the world, it's not going to have the same... you're not going to be able to get as much interest involved in it as you would by having it be Daphne and Velma. Because that brings that added, I know those characters.
Right.
And that brings something to it. I get why they're doing it that way. And I just, I hope it's good. I don't know. We'll see.
So for the strangest news this week,
this was bizarre and amazing, and just I
don't know how I feel about it.
I don't know if I want to see it or not, but I kind of do.
I'm in a weird spot because I loved Tarantino in my early 20s. I don't know if I like his movies as much as I did then. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I was in that weird space where it was like, oh, these are cool and edgy and different and blah, blah. And now I'm like, yeah, they're cool. They got a lot of dialogue. I like watching his films, but I'm not in the same mindset I guess.
Yeah.
Star Trek is the last thing I would imagine.
It's so not Tarantino.
It's not at all. But in a weird way, it is because of the dialogue and because this could be a Star Trek film. Now, that's the thing. I think this would bomb because I don't know who would want to see a Tarantino style film, style film, and set in the Star Trek universe. Because, now, believe me, I would love to sit in a theater and watch that. But it's so niche. It's so it's its own weird thing, and crossing them over. Because nowadays people are so used to going in to see a Star Trek film, you're going to get action and stuff like that. I think that older fans might like it because it's like, oh, we're back to just dialogue. But I don't know what a 2018 audience or 19, whenever this comes out, how they would take it.
I don't know. I'm with you on this.
It'd be a cool episode on a TV show where you're like, yeah, we got Tarantino to direct it, and it's like it's a little bit different. Like when Kevin Smith does the Flash stuff, it's like, oh, it gets weird for a minute, but it's Kevin Smith.
Right.
There's the obvious jokes, like you're gonna have Samuel L. Jackson in there, and it's gonna be cursing, and I don't think it'd curse or anything like that. I think he knows what he can and can't do. Could
you just imagine, Kirk, what are you doing here, motherfucker?
Get these motherfucking Klingons off this motherfucking plane, right?
Oh my god!
I don't understand. Or just cast him as Picard. Cast Samuel Jackson as Picard. That'd be perfect. Do you think that would upset people, or do you think I would love that? Personally?
I would buy if they announced that. I would buy my ticket that day, and I will stand on the corner and chant about this movie, and I would have the biggest argument with people. Oh my god, I've got to bring this up at my pizza job because I have the 2 biggest Star Trek nerds I've ever seen. I told you about that last week. I want to see this. I want to bring this news up to him and say, what do you guys think about the news that Tarantino is going to do a Star Trek movie? And just let them go. just like step back. It's basically just going to be like, okay, you've got these two. It's like, here are two different really hungry lions, and you just threw a gazelle down in there. Watch what happens.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
no,
They
need each other.
I want to do that now. I'm gonna go to work and do that.
Yeah, because it's like the opposite of an old English guy. Yeah, no, it would. I don't know how this would work, but if you think about it, like if you break it down, Quentin Tarantino is very 70s, and so is Star Trek.
Very true.
So like I said, this would be a cool TV show if they're like, hey, we're gonna have a new Star Trek show. It's gonna look like the 70s one, and Tarantino is gonna be a part of it. That would be interesting. The crazy thing here is it's not just Tarantino. It's JJ Abrams and Tarantino are sitting down for this one.
Yeah, Tarantino is basically like, I've got an idea. And
Right.
Abrams is saying, all right, let's get a writer's room together and we'll all figure this out.
Right.
And
So I
that's-
don't think it would be like I don't think it'd be like a lot of his films, but we'll just see like bits and pieces.
Right. I'm thinking
Up to
less Pulp Fiction and maybe like more Reservoir Dogs-ish.
Yes, exactly. A little bit more dialogue, and that couldn't hurt. That's what I'm saying. I don't know who this is for because we would like that, but the general audience is going to go, "Give me explosions,
Right.
give
Or
me more
yeah.
suspense." Where Tarantino's going to be like, there's going to be like 10 minutes of talking.
Yeah.
So I guess they're going to have to find a happy medium with all that.
Yeah. That's oh, that's a thing.
Get ready for Kirk eating a lot of food in his scenes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's,
It's I'm interested for sure.
I'm telling you, it would definitely be where they have never gone before. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely, that's the thing. I think if they kept the big gravitas film stuff that they have been doing, they'll be fine. The last one wasn't as big as the first two, I think, like on a scale.
Well, and I think it benefited from that.
No, I think so too. I think every film they've kind of gone down a little bit. I don't know. I kind of like the first one. I wish they would do another one like the first one that was like universe shattering.
Well, they're gonna bring on Quentin Tarantino. That's pretty universe.
That's true.
shattering.
Absolutely. I just have a feeling we'd get like, what's his name, Mudd, or what's his name, Harry Mudd.
You lost me, man.
The Star Trek guy who sold him he's in the new show. The one who sold oh God, my brain is melting right now. The things that keep multiplying.
The Tribbles?
Yes, the Trouble with the Tribbles. I think his name is Harry Mudd is his name. Have you seen the original episode, the Trouble with Tribbles?
The Trouble with not in a very long time.
Okay, so what's his face? The guy who plays Dwight Schrute is the new Harry Mudd.
Oh boy.
Oh man, you gotta see the new show.
Oh boy. Yeah,
He's like a main character in it now.
Like I've seen the first couple of episodes and I really enjoyed it.
He's like the third or fourth episode he's introduced where like him and the captain from the ship is thrown into like a Klingon ship and they have to survive, and Harry Mudd's just a slime ball that is just screwing everyone over he can to get out of there. I have a feeling that Harry Mudd would be in this Quentin Tarantino film because he is right for that.
Because now all I'm thinking is like, what would Tarantino do with Tribbles?
Right.
And none of these are good possibilities. Like,
oh yeah.
None of these are good ideas.
Go watch the original Trouble with Tribbles episode and you'll see what I'm talking about with Harry Mudd, and like he wore like this captain's jacket with the things on the shoulder pads with the and it was opened, and he was a big guy, and he had just a mustache that curled, and like his hair would comb over, like it's super 70s and ridiculous.
Nice. Totally
out of left field for Star Trek. But it's one of those episodes that's just trippy as all can get out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what they would do with it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That would certainly be interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah. We got let's see here. I think that's gonna do it for the movie news. We got some House of Cards news. Jesus, news. Season 6 to resume production without Kevin Spacey, and will star Robin Wright, and we'll have 8 episodes.
Yeah,
so
they found a way to wrap it up. So
yeah, I'm sure I haven't caught up with it. They'll probably kill him off, I imagine.
I don't think there's any other way to get around that.
Right. They'll mention like, well, he died. Sorry, but they'll jump forward like 3 years. I don't know. I don't know how the last one ended, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And all this news didn't make me want to go like, well, I better go watch and finish what happened. And maybe like, I'm good. Titans, WBTV releases first photo of Brendan. How do you pronounce the last name?
It is. I got to bring it up again. Where is it? Thwaites.
Thwaites. Okay.
Thwaites, yeah.
As Robin. So what'd you think of this?
He looks like Robin.
He looks like Robin. He's playing Dick, right?
No, I don't think so.
No?
That looked more like Red Robin to me.
No, that's definitely Dick.
Oh yeah, there was no hood. What the hell am I talking about?
I think he has to be before. This was right probably when he's transitioning into Nightwing.
Yeah, or a little bit before that. Yeah, it would have to be Dick Grayson Robin. Yeah, what the hell am I talking about?
Well, yeah, no, I mean the other one. What's his name? Not Jason Todd.
Tim Drake.
Tim Drake, yeah.
Yeah, he was Red Robin. Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
And that's who our Robin is for the longest time because we grew up with him as Robin.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Who knows? I think it's Dick though. But that's cool. What is this going to be on again? It's going to be on.
It's going to be on their streaming service.
Oh my God! Can we stop with these streaming services?
It's where we're headed, man. It's where we're headed.
CW, for Christ's sakes.
They've got enough on the CW.
No, they don't. I would love more. Give me more. Oh my God! When you see the, did you watch the crossover?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh my God! Oh, it's real fast. If I could talk about, I watched the new season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
The first 2 episodes. I haven't seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. since the second season, maybe. Second or third?
I saw a little of the Ghost Rider season. That was as far as I got.
So I saw the first few episodes of the Ghost Rider, so I'll admit that. But I didn't follow it through. So I imagine everything works out. Because this one opens up with, it's really weird how it opens up. It shows like this guy going throughout his day, and he is swimming in a pool, and he's doing and it's like this weird music, and it's like, I can't explain it. It's like how a show that you've been watching for a long time, like maybe Lost, opens up and it's music playing and it's this person doing every ordinary day things like they're baking something, but in your whole mind you're like, well, this show's about Lost and they're on an island, so what the fuck am I watching?
Right.
That's what this was. It was this guy like, he looked like a total normal, way too normal of a guy, like waking up, putting on his watch, doing everything perfect, jumping in the pool, doing laps, doing this, getting coffee, doing whatever, going into a bunker, meeting up with somebody, and then before he goes to the bunker, after his swim in the pool, he takes off his skin and he gets in the shower.
Okay, yeah, that's different.
Right. So you realize he's like an alien or something. And so at the very beginning of the episode, they go into a diner, which I guess happened in the last season, and they do something to like all of the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the main characters. They put them in front of this stone statue thing, this monument or something like that, monolith that they have. And I guess the monolith has been a part of the show for a few seasons now.
It has been, yeah. It's got to do with the Inhumans.
Yes, exactly. So they put it in front of this thing, and then it like melts away, and then they wake up. And Coulson wakes up. He doesn't know what's going on. This guy's talking to him, and he's like, you're safe with me, stick with me, blah, blah, blah. They're all kind of all over the place, but it looks like they're all in this this bunker somewhere. And they're like, just be careful, blah, 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 blah. The roaches will get you, stuff like that. And they all sort of kind of meet up with each other. And I won't say that much more, But they realize that they're not on Earth. They're very far away. And they are stranded there. And so this whole season is going to be about them. And I don't want to say too much more because it gets really spoilery if I do.
Okay.
But I want to tease the idea of you don't need to watch any, you don't need to know any of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to enjoy this.
Okay, fair enough.
In the first episode you get a very good idea of who these characters are. If you know Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., then you know you're going to enjoy it a lot more because you know that what's her name? There's like Fitz and Simmons.
Yeah.
The girl, the woman is with them. The guy is nowhere to be found. So like he's left behind.
Okay.
And so like you get an idea of where they're at and how cool this could be for the Marvel universe.
Okay.
And like straight up Star-Lord comes in through one of the windows to help them. He thinks he's trying to steal from them, but he ends up they're like, well, we'll pay you, kind of like a Han Solo kind of thing. It's not Star-Lord. It's a different character, but it's straight up Star-Lord. He has the mask on and everything. So that's interesting. So I don't want to say anything else because I've only told you maybe 10%. But if I go any far beyond that,
yeah,
I don't want it to unravel because there are major twists and turns in the first 2 episodes.
I was going to say, because it's a 2-part premiere. Yeah.
It's a 2-part premiere that it goes fucking bonkers of what their situation is and how they get home or how they're going to get home. But by the second episode, I'll spoil that. They're nowhere near home. They're not, So it's going to be interesting to see how they get back there. So it's great though. Like when you start to see the twists and the crazy shit in the first episode, that's what hooked me. I was like, all right, well I'm on. I want to see how this turns out. So
interesting.
But yeah, it was cool. Let's see here. But yeah, I've been on like a superhero kick this week. Ever since I watched that Avengers trailer, I was like, and watched the crossover event. I was like, I need to catch up with all this because it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard? I've seen rumors that before Star Wars, there's going to be a new Ready Player One trailer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I've heard. I've seen rumblings on the internet, which would make sense because it's a big. If you've got a trailer like that, you want to get it in front of something everybody's going to see. And, there is a Spielberg connection to Star Wars, obviously.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't like the first trailer. Did they play, Tom Sawyer as the song in it?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. I love the song. I did not like the trailer at all.
Boo.
Yeah, too much CGI.
Dude, the whole thing takes place inside a completely virtual universe.
I didn't like it. No, it was too much.
Well, I mean, then you're probably going to hate the movie because it's going to look like that.
No, I know. I don't like that in trailers. There's too much going on. There's a scene where he's literally like shooting and here's Freddy Krueger, who looks like total CGI flying through space video game Freddy Krueger, and like 6 other pulp culture things attacking them. That never happened in the book.
No, but here's dude, you can't play that card with this movie.
That scene looked like they threw up pulp culture stuff everywhere. In the book, in my head when I was reading it, it felt way more like, I don't know how to explain it. Kind of like, that episode of Netflix, the Jubertino or whatever.
The what?
Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go on take a left turn here real fast. You've seen Black Mirror, right?
No.
Oh my God, Logan.
Dude, I'm working 2 jobs. I can't keep up with all this shit.
You need to see Black Mirror. I'm gonna give you 2 episodes to watch. Okay.
I've heard about Cupertino.
Yeah, it's San Cupertino or something like that.
Yeah, whatever the hell it was.
Right. It's one of the only ones where it's a really good story and it ends pretty good. It's not like, oh, by the way, here's the dark knife twist at the end that everyone gets fucked, or whatever. Right. It's an interesting take because I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's kind of like what Ready Player One is, and in that they handle it where it feels very real. Everything looks real. Everything's there, and they talk about how everyone's. I don't want to get too much into it, but it to me that felt more like Ready Player One, where the people in that world is very aware of the pulp culture references, and they're dressing like it, and they're acting like it, and they're like, well, that's not exactly how it was, but this is their interpretation of it because maybe they lived during that time or their parents told them the stories of it.
Right.
But it felt very grounded. It felt very real. Everything in those scenes were like they were at a real arcade. They were at a real bar. They went outside, and it was very much the 80s. I kind of expected it to be a little bit like that because in my head that's how I pictured it.
No.
But when in the trailer, it's like I'm just gonna throw up every 80 reference while they're surfing down it on a giant. Like it's just too fun.
But that's what the book was too. Like it didn't take place in the 80s. It was just, hey, a bunch of people are following this now dead guy. You know, spoiler alert for the first page of the book. You know, who was a giant 80s fanboy. Like, it's very much like, oh no, this takes place in modern times, but people really, a certain group of people really, really loved stuff from the 80s.
But let me, the scene where he's in his van.
Yeah.
And it has 80s stuff in there.
Yeah.
That looked real because he probably was sitting in a van with 80 stuff in there.
Well, yeah, because he was. I mean, the rest of it takes place in a virtual world. I get what you're saying. I hear you. I do. But I don't expect that to look as crisp as actual reality.
It should, though. They can do that.
And that is a fair point. That is a fair point.
That's what I'm saying. Like in San Cupertino, you really got to see that one. It's in the third season. It gets to the point where you don't realize what you're. That's kind of one of the twists of it. You don't realize what you're looking at because they do such a good job. There's a little bit like, oh, okay, it's a little much, but I see what they're doing. I don't know it. I guess it just was too much in the trailer, and it didn't. I don't feel like they explained any of what was going on. It was just a minute and a half of we're gonna throw a DeLorean down the street and these bikes that don't actually turn correctly, and it was way too much of an explosion of it that it should have been a little bit more. I think it would have been done much better if it was if it was a trailer that was more of a mystery of like, what are we looking at? Why are all these 80s references and what, I don't, does that make sense?
I will grant you that. I hope that this new trailer just kind of opens with, and I cannot for the life of me remember the dude's name who died, because it's gone. But I just wanted to open with just a voiceover saying, last night, whatever. God, it's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to reread the book now. Damn it! Because once I start reading it, I just can't quit because it's so damn good.
It's really good.
Died last night. His fortune
Willy
remains.
Wonka.
Basically, pretty much actually.
Right.
Like no joke. And his fortune remains in jeopardy, in question. But he's released this, and I would almost like if they used the video that his video will as the next trailer. Do that. I would love that. That would be amazing. And then at the end throw up, a couple of things or whatever. And then have it end with him signing off. That would be an infinitely better trailer. I think.
Right, exactly. It just seemed like, I don't know, because I had most of my friends going, so this is a movie where they're like, it's a big race, right, where they're all in cars, and the whole movie they're racing around. You're like, no, it's not like, it's not a death race. Why do they show it like that? Because that's what you see. You see them all getting ready, they get all in these cars, and then there's this huge race, and there's a DeLorean, and then towards the end of it, I don't know what the fuck's happening. They're like flying through cars. I don't know. It's just it's just a personal preference, and I'm afraid that this is going to be one of the cases where I'm Mr. The book's always better than the movie kind of,
And here's the thing. I almost want to caution people who were giant fans of the book against going to see this. Because this movie, just for the property right reasons alone, is not going to be anywhere near the book. It's gonna be,
Right.
I know that Klein was actively involved in working on the screenplay. It wasn't, they didn't just throw his name on for a story credit. Like, he actually worked with them on this. But it's gonna be different. It's gonna be a hell of a lot different than the book.
Right.
I promise you that. I guarantee you that. So we are gonna have to go in, and it didn't help that the trailer was kind of like, if you know the book, you know why you should be excited about some of these things.
Right.
You know, I mean, the race aside, like, oh shit, that's his DeLorean. Oh man, he's got that key. Oh shit.
Yeah.
It was kind of geared towards book fans. It was.
Right.
But
Well,
you kind of have to put that aside. You can't go into this saying, but that's not like the book, because you will be saying it for the entire movie. I will guarantee you.
No, I know. Because it used to not be like that. I didn't read that many books.
Yeah.
So going into this is gonna be one of the first ones where I was like, oh, I love that. I read that a bunch, and now I don't know. When I saw the trailer, I don't know how I felt about it, because I didn't feel as excited as I thought I would.
Yeah.
I guess I was just I don't know. When I see stills and he's in the van and stuff like that, that to me, I was like, that looks like it, because it looks like a real world, but in love with the 80s. And obviously he's not in whatever it's called, Amorous or whatever it's called.
Oasis,
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see though. I really hope that there is one before Star Wars. We're going to see the Marvel one. That's going to be great with the Avengers.
Oh man, is that going to be huge? God, watching. Yeah. Oh damn! Just imagine seeing that Infinity War trailer on a big screen. Holy shit!
Oh, I can hear the music. Oh man, they just went and get that man a shield and all those, man. Like, even the Thanos lines are just so awesome right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
One doesn't consider fun. Yeah, it's so good.
James Halliday, that's the guy from Ready Player One.
Oh, yep.
That's him. Sorry, that was gonna bother me.
No, it's all good. So you talk about this one, because I know.
Anyway, to not segue back into news at all in any way whatsoever, we got our first look at the Supernatural spinoff, Wayward Sisters, and okay, it looks like a Supernatural spinoff, which is all I really want from it. So I'm down. I'm good.
There we go. I don't know anything about the Wayward Sisters.
It's oh god, we don't have enough time left in the episode.
That's all right.
It's gonna be good though. These are all characters that they've established, some to more degrees than others, in the main show. So it'll be a good, interesting dynamic. Like, I'm looking forward to it.
Sweet. We got some Capcom news.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why I thought you'd be excited for this.
This does not excite me. They announced Mega Man 11, which is just, hey, remember how Mega Man 9 was just another, like, old school Mega Man side-scroller in 2D, like, with the same kind of graphics and everything? You haven't had that in a while, right? And everybody went, yeah, and that would be cool, all right. And then after that, we got Mega Man 10, which was the same thing, but with a graphics upgrade, and people went, yeah, okay, cool. And now Mega Man 11 is just the same thing with yet another graphics upgrade. And I'm just like, I'm done with the pointless, like, they're just, it's just the same thing again and again. Like,
there's an audience for this. There's fans that do want this.
There's a lot more of an audience for Legends 3, which they will never announce and never make, and it'll never, ever happen at all.
Why do you think that is?
Because
it's just easier to make the 2D ones?
Because with when they were developing Legends 3, like 10 years ago, whenever the hell it was, there was a big falling out with was it Kenji Inafune, who was kind of like who was the creator of Mega Man, because they were also working on Mega Man Universe at the time, which was supposed to be like Mario Maker but with Mega Man, and this was long before Mario Maker. And then when he and Capcom apparently had some kind of falling out, and he left, and so Capcom shelved everything Mega Man, and that's why they're only doing the 2D stuff, I think, because Capcom, this is lip service. This is nothing but, hey, look, it's a Mega Man thing. And we get these every few years. We haven't had any new Mega Man anything really since 10. And I'm just
right. So
like,
I mean, I think this is great for if you want to switch, and you're into the old Mega Man games, which there's a ton of people that are.
right. And I mean, you'll get the legacy collections, and you know, you'll get what Capcom does. Hey, look, here's another re-release of all the old stuff we've got 27,000 iterations of.
I'm guilty, man, because I love playing Street Fighter 2 on my Switch.
But I'm just like, they don't do. And at least, here's the thing. At least they make new Street Fighter games.
That's true.
They don't make new Mega Man games. This is not new. This is 10 with 8 new robots and a graphics upgrade. This is not. It's not a new game. This is This is absolutely the least Capcom can do with this franchise.
Hey, speaking of Capcom, real fast, I think the 8th through the 11th you get to play Marvel vs. Capcom, whatever this one's called. Infinite for free on PSN.
The Versus version, yeah. You don't get version. It's not there's no story. You don't get to play story.
Oh, fuck it. Who cares about that? Just you'll be able to test it out and be like, hey, how does this feel?
I played the demo for it. It felt like a Marvel vs. Capcom game.
Yeah. So I'm gonna test it out. I played the demo too, but the demo didn't actually let you face each other. It was
right.
Just,
it was tutorial.
Yeah.
And apparently everybody who actually got to play it said, yeah, you know what, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But hey, there's a free trial period for it. Go nuts. What the hell?
Doesn't the Dragon Ball Z game come out next year, February?
I think Fighter Z comes out in early next year. I hope it does.
I wish it was coming out on the Switch.
Right.
Oh, speaking of, doesn't WWE 2K come out this week?
God, is that on the Switch this week? Shit.
I think they're like, hey, surprise, it's out on the 8th.
Nice.
I could be wrong, though, but I'm pretty sure it's the 8th.
We've got so much crap going on this week. Our next week's show is going to be packed. Because we've got, what have we got Thursday? We've got the Jurassic World trailer.
Yep.
We've got the Game Awards are Thursday, and PSX is Saturday night.
I don't think they're going to have a what do you call it?
A conference at the start.
Conference.
Yeah, they are.
Right. They are?
Yeah, at 11.
I read they're not doing a traditional one. Or
I
guess they are.
They are. They're doing the showcase. It's going to be 11 Eastern on Saturday night. But they're doing that's not going to open the show. They're going to have. It's not the first thing they're doing, and then welcome to the rest of PSX. There's other panels and booths and stuff throughout the day too. It's a weird. Their schedule's weird, but yeah, it's I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. Because if not, that'd be kind of silly. Because that format works really well for them when they're just like, hey, I can't remember the guy's name. Thank you for coming to PSX. This is really awesome. Here's an hour of game trailers. Enjoy, and that's what they do. And
yeah. I think either at PSX or the Video Game Awards, they're going to announce the God Award because apparently it's been leaked that it's March 22nd and it's going to come out. In the store, it was marked as March 22nd, 2018 for a little bit, and then it switched back to December 31st.
Yeah, it'll be at PSX. They'll do that at PSX, I'm sure.
Well, they're doing a lot at the Video Game Awards too. I think you're absolutely right. But they are doing some stuff at the Video Game Awards. For example, they're showing off the new PUBG map, and they said they have a whole bunch of announcements and trailers and stuff like that too. So,
but I think just because God of War is a Sony first-party title, it would just make more sense to save that for their big thing.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's going to be cool to see. But yeah. Let's see, what else do we have here?
Marvel is doing a World War Hulk 2.
Why?
Because Amadeus Cho has to go to Sakaar and come back as Demented Hulk or whatever again.
No.
It's the same thing, but just with their new Hulk, basically.
They're doing it because the movie.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly why. Oh, yeah.
Lame. But they are bringing back Bruce Banner, though.
Yeah, I didn't know he was gone because I haven't been paying any attention. So I was like, okay.
He got killed during the last event.
Hawkeye
shot him.
That's right. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Because he told him hey, if I freak out, you are going to take me down.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for Marvel moving forward. Like I said, I read a lot of the Jump On issues in November recently, and I really like them, and I'm excited to see what happens with like Wolverine and stuff like that. And who knows, man? I think the one thing we're gonna see really fast, I think, as soon as they announce this, Disney wants, like, let's say they make it official. Of course, they got to go through court and stuff. But let's say they come out this week and they're like, we're buying them. Guaranteed, Marvel Comics is going to be like, oh, by the way, here's the Fantastic Four again in the Marvel comic universe.
We have the Fantastic Two, don't we?
Sorta, yes. What I'm getting at is that we are going to see changes much faster on the comic side than we will anything else, because now that they know the wheels are in place, that they're going to go, okay, by the way, here's some cool new X-Men characters that we've been missing out on, and here's the Fantastic Four back in all their glory, because the Sue and Reed and the kids are off in outer space. They are, they've been shown, I think, like once, and they've been out, like beyond the Marvel universe exploring, and they say something like, we're not ready just yet.
Right.
So I think those would be the biggest things that move forward the fastest, where it's like, once it's announced, I think like soon later it'll be like Fantastic Four book back in Marvel. Yeah. New X-Men and stuff like that. They'll be because now everything's Avengers. I think we will definitely see a tonal shift in the comics where they will push way more X-Men, and they'll put their top talent on there.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, I would hope. I'm an X-Men fan, so that's why I hope that's what happens.
Yeah.
But we got some more sexual harassment news.
Yeah, because it was like months ago when all the stuff about Danny Masterson and everything that was going on with like the people that accused him of rape, and there was a whole big because he's a Scientologist, and they were working to cover up the allegations because some of a couple of the women who accused him were also Scientologists, and that's a big no-no, and it was just a giant mess. Netflix finally now has decided that they're gonna fire him over all this. It took him long enough.
Oh yeah. I was wondering about that, because I've seen his name pop up for a while now about all this, and there was no word on what they've done with him.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Now they fired him from the ranch, which nobody apparently is watching anyway, so who cares? Yeah.
That's a bummer. Sucks all that happened.
Yeah.
But yep. Did you see? Okay, so did you see the teaser for Jurassic World?
I did. Did you see the plot details for Jurassic World?
Let's go over that real fast. Do you have it in front of you by any chance?
I don't, but I remember the gist of it, which is that it's a handful of years after Jurassic World.
Yeah.
And because the dinosaurs have now taken over the island, and there's a volcano on the island that's going to erupt and kill all the dinosaurs because history repeats itself, I guess.
Right.
And
yeah.
And Bryce Dallas Howard's character is heading up basically like a dinosaur version of PETA, and has to get Star-Lord to come back. I totally forgot his name.
Yeah.
To come back and help round up the dinosaurs so they can be shipped to safety, and somehow Ian Malcolm's involved. And I'm just like, this is so fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
But why the hell not? Like, it has to be weird. It has to be strange.
Right.
So go for it. Sure.
There has to be a reason to get them back on the island.
Yeah.
And
I mean, this would do it.
Yeah, Fallen Kingdom makes sense, because it's like, well, that title sounds perfect. So
yeah, but yeah,
it can't be like we're opening another park again.
No, because God, they've done that twice now. They've done that 3 times now. Because of course, the first one they opened the park, the third one they opened the park, and then in this one they opened the park.
Was it the third one?
No,
it was the
second one. Yeah, was the idea of like, we're gonna open a U.S. park, because that was, oh God.
Man, Jeff Goldblum was a delight in Thor.
He was magnificent. He was just Jeff Goldblum. And I love how in all the press, everything, nobody talked about their scenes with the Grandmaster. It was always their scenes with Jeff Goldblum. I love it.
Yeah.
It's magnificent.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Big fun. Yeah, if you haven't seen Thor Ragnarok yet, anybody, go. Just go. It's so much fun. It's a blast.
And by the way, it's crazy that we were talking about Disney the whole episode, because on the 5th of December is Walt Disney's birthday.
Holy shit, is it really?
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
It's crazy. Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell me there aren't... I want to make a Force joke so bad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that IO9 did a piece on him, and, he said, "To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disney is your land. Here, age revels in fond memories of the past, and here, I don't know, yada, yada, yada." But it was really cool. They did a whole piece on him. I'm not going to do the whole thing.
You went like halfway through this really deep, inspirational thing Walt Disney said, and then just went into, blah, 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 yada, yada.
It goes on and on. I didn't realize how long it was.
Oh, man. Oh, good times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought it was cool, before we go, one quick thing about him. Like, you know how they set up the trash cans at Disney?
So you're not more than 20 feet from a trash can or something?
Yep, they said when they opened it up, they noticed that people, because they would hand out lollipops when the park opened at the very front, and then they would count how many steps the people took before they threw the wrapper, and so they make sure that all of the trash cans are that far apart between each other, so that it never feels like a chore to go hunt down a trash can. Yeah. To make it clean. So I don't know, that was cool.
It's weird. Yeah, all the Disney stories like that are just, all the stories about the parks are on the one hand usually cool, and on the other hand also a little kind of creepy. But it's weird how they go hand in hand sometimes. It's really neat.
Right. Being in Orlando, anyone that I've known that's worked for them, they've loved Disney, like to an obsession level of love. It's crazy, because an outsider, you're like, whoa, what are you talking? What? How is that entertaining or fun or whatever?
Right.
They're like, they love it. They said they're treated great. So I don't know. But that will wrap up. I just thought that was a cool little thing. Like, I didn't realize today was his birthday. Yeah. That we're recording it. So
God, how weird.
That is weird, yeah. But that will wrap it up. We'll be back next week. We will talk. We'll be right and ready for Star Wars. I'll probably be gushing over Star Wars stuff by then, because that's what I'm going to be doing for the next week. We got the Jurassic Park trailer and a lot of other things. So we'll be back here Wednesday next week. Make sure you go to our Facebook group, We Geek Podcast, our Twitter at We Geek Podcast, at The Logan Witt, at Adam Estep. Make sure you go. That's our Twitters. Make sure you go and subscribe to us on iTunes and on any of your podcasts of choice.
And YouTube.
Oh yes, give us a review, and make sure you go to our YouTube. We have now we'll have the episodes up every week, which would be awesome. And I think that's it. We'll be back next week, and we'll have a ton to talk about. Until then, Captain.